Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel, and today I'm excited to show off the new Alakazam EX that will be coming out in the Pokemon card 151 set. We even got a Mew EX, so it didn't take that long, but we finally just got a Mew EX revealed. If y'all are excited for this video and are interested in what Alakazam does, and if you're excited to see Alakazam again in the TCG, because it has been a long time since we've had an Alakazam, Kadabra, and an Abra card, of course, because of the Yuri Geller situation, leave a like on the video, and if you haven't subbed here to the second channel yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you never miss an upload on the channel and all that good stuff. But let's take a look at the new cards that got revealed in the Pokemon card 151 set. We do have a Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. This does mean we are most likely going to get Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Blastoise, Charizard, and a Venusaur EX. Would not be surprised if they gave us an EX version. I think, unless they were already confirmed, they might have already been confirmed that we are going to get EXs of them, but wouldn't be surprised if those got EXs, because we do have the Kantos here. But we do have a new Pikachu too. We got an Abra, and this is one of the first ever Abra cards in a long time. Same thing with Kadabra. We have not had a Kadabra card in so long. Now, Kadabra and Abra, the cards are not fantastic. I mean, Abra does 20. Kadabra does a hit and run attack for 30. The big thing is the Alakazam EX that got revealed. This is one of the first ever Alakazam cards we have gotten in a very long time, and it's actually a really unique card. It's something that I don't think we've really ever seen before. So start things off, it's got the attack Mind Jack that does 90 plus 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if your opponent has a full bench of 6, that actually does a lot of damage. That's a pretty strong attack for a double turbo energy, or for just 2 colorless energy. That can do quite a bit of damage. I mean, 90 plus 30 is nothing to write, nothing really to like scoff at, because I mean, most of the other like bench do more damage for each bench Pokemon attacks are usually doing like 30 plus 30. 90 base damage is pretty crazy. So Alakazam's first attack already hits pretty hard, but then we have the second attack, and this is what makes this card so unique. We got the attack Dimensional Manipulation. For 2 Psychic Energy, it does 120 damage, but here's the catch. This Pokemon can use this attack even when it is on the bench. Yes, that's right. So let's say you have a, let's say you have a Klefki in the active spot, right? You can use this attack on the bench. Now, that is really cool. I don't know if we've ever seen a card be like do something this crazy. Being able to attack from the bench is just absolutely crazy. Now, it only does 120 damage, so it's not like we're doing like 200 damage. 120 is, it's two-shotting most EXs and basic Vs. I think you can use a choice belt with this attack. I'm not like super like 100% on that ruling on the attack. Like, you might be able to use a choice belt, meaning that you can have a choice belt on the Alakazam EX and you can do 150. I'm pretty sure that's allowed because, I mean, you're still technically attacking the active Pokemon with this attack. But that is really cool. Being able to attack for the bench is kind of crazy. Now, like I said, with the Klefki being in the active spot, the reason why I like Klefki is a good active Pokemon, this attack could be really good with a wall in the active spot. So let's just say you have a, Mimikyu. There's a new Mimikyu coming out that has the ability to be immune to EXs and V Pokemon. So let's say your active spot is the new Mimikyu. Or let's say your active is a Miltank because your opponent doesn't have a way to counter Miltank. All right? You can just have Alakazam sit on the bench while that thing is in the active spot, and you just keep constantly attacking with Dimensional Manipulation over and over. The nice thing about Alakazam 2 is it actually is pretty tanky. I mean, it's got 310 HP, so if your opponent were to try to, like, boss the Alakazam up to try to KO it, to obviously get around the wall you have in the active spot, 310 HP is a lot of HP to have, so good luck one-shotting the Alakazam. It is weak to Dark, so it does, of course, get caught in the crossfire of Dark-weak Pokemon like Gardevoir and Mew VMAX, but it's a really cool card. You can also, of course, use it with other wall Pokemon, like, of course, Klefki. You can have a Klefki in the active, and if you're playing against, like, Lost Box, your opponent can't play Comfy while you just sit there and do Dimensional Manipulation over and over. It is a Stage 2 at the end of the day. Alakazam being a Stage 2 is obviously a big deal. Luckily, even, like, the Kadabra is, like, pretty good in this deck, because you can use Kadabra's attack to, like, switch into a wall to then go Alakazam the following turn. You can also just play the old classic rare candy game. But I am really excited for Alakazam EX. I think this card is actually pretty strong. Both attacks can do a lot of cool things. Obviously, second attack is very situational, but really cool. And then even the first attack, of course, is very, very strong and can be a nice way to like finish off a Pokemon that's already heavily damaged if your opponent does play into the Mind Jack, especially if you're attacking with Dimensional Manipulation over and over. So really exciting to see Abracadabra and Alakazam back. And this is one of the most unique cards I think we've ever had in the TCG. So it's cool that they brought Alakazam back and in a pretty cool and big way. We've got a new Mew EX. Yes, Mew is back, baby. We got a brand new Mew. Now, this Mew is actually kind of cool. So it's got the ability to restart. Once you're in turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. Start things off, it has Instruct as an ability. So that's really good. Mew having Instruct is really nice. It's the same ability as Kricketune V, except you don't have the active spot. Extra ability, but you are able to still draw out of Ionos, which is nice. So if you have a Mew EX in the bench and your opponent didn't put a path in play, you can still draw out of a bad hand, which is really nice. That is one of the cool things about the Instruct ability. Always nice to see that ability in the format. And then, of course, we have Genome Hack. Now, this is actually a really strong attack. For 3 colorless energy, chooses one of your opponent's active attacks and uses it as attack. Now, this card could actually be pretty good with something like Lugia V-Star. Lugia V-Star is now kind of resorted to playing Single Strike, Rapid Strike, or Fusion Strike, or just like special energy in general. Mew actually does work with, you know, all the basic colorless special energy that exists right now in the format. So this could be a really cool one of in Lugia EX decks. Being able to copy your opponent's active attack is really cool. There's going to be situations where it's like, well, if I had a Mew here, I could win the game. Like, say your opponent has like a Rapid Strike Urshifu in the active spot for whatever reason, all right? You can copy Rapid Flow with Mew, hit the active for weakness, and then like something on the bench is kind of cool. Like, you can have these weird, crazy plays out of nowhere with Mew. I think this actually can copy V-Stars too. V-Star attacks, which is nice. So it is actually a really strong card. I actually like it. Now, it is, of course, a little squishy. You know, it's a 2-prizer that has 180 HP, so it's not too hard to, like, one-hit KO, which is the only downside about Mew. But it's a pretty cool card nonetheless, and I actually really like it. I think it's a pretty strong card. Could be good in Gardevoir, too, obviously. It does work in Gardevoir, so could be a cool partner to have in the Gardevoir EX deck. We got Safety Goggles here. The basic Pokemon this card is attached to has no weakness. Now, I think a lot of people have been asking for a weakness removal card for a while now, especially people like Mew players, especially because of Drapion. Now, I'm glad that it only works on basics. I think this card would have been kind of strong if it was on any Pokemon. It basically just would have been weakness policy. Literally would have been weakness policy. It only works on basics, so you can put it on a basic Pokemon. Some cool options like Miraidon, the Mew EX we just looked at. Any big basic V Pokemon or EX can probably play the Safety Goggles. Not a bad card. Again, to get rid of weakness is pretty helpful. There's going to be a few scenarios where that is nice. Most of the basic Pokemon, however, are already like super squishy. This card could be good with like if tag teams still existed, but we are long past tag teams. And then we got Giovanni's Charisma. Put an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon in their hand. If you do attach energy from your hand to your active Pokemon. Honestly, a pretty cool card. This is a energy removal card on your opponent, but also an energy attaching card in the same turn. That's actually kind of sweet. This is genuinely a decent card. I mean, and depending on the matchup, you can reset your opponent's energy attachment and get energy in play in the process. I actually kind of like it. Being able to remove an energy and attach one is really, really strong. I'm actually a fan of this card. I think it could be a pretty solid card. It's a 2-in-1 package. Now, you do have to return the energy on your opponent's active, so you can't use it if your opponent has no energy on their active Pokemon, obviously. But a lot of the time, they will. We're playing a game where you have to have energy in play, so this card could actually have a lot of value, and I actually kind of like the idea of this card. But that is really cool, and like Pokebeach says here, this is the first time a Pokemon has been able to use an attack from the bench, which is kind of cool. So this is the first time Alakazam, or any card for that matter, has been able to attack from the bench. But yeah, the new Alakazam EX is really cool. Let me know what you think of Alakazam EX in the comments. Do you think it's good? I think it's pretty solid. I think it's good with Miltank and Mimikyu and Klefki and all those little like wall Pokemon I think get to play. Do you like the new Mew? What other decks do you think Mew EX could be played in apart from like maybe Lugia and Gardevoir? And what do you think of the new Giovanni's Charisma? I would love to hear all of that down in the comments below. But yeah, that is it for some new card reveals. Really exciting cards. Again, the Alakazam is really, really cool. And I'm excited for this set to come out now. The original 151 set is going to be a really, really cool set. And I'm pretty stoked to see it come out. But that'll be it for me. And again, if y'all enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe down below and all that good stuff. And yeah, check out Card Craft. You get any codes, use code LDF. Check out my main channel, of course. I've been posting daily Scarlet and Violet content. And that'll be it for me. Bye-bye.